Are you listening to Montana Roots, Voices of Rosebud County? I'm Jim Cookman. This is a community podcast where we spend time getting to know the people and organizations in Rosebud County. This is our very first episode. Isn't that cool?
Wow, it's great to be here.
We're very excited.
So, first episode, we're going to be talking about Colstrip Days. And it's so cool. I've got, from left to right, Bill Neumiller, quality of life, longtime Colstrip resident, guy that does it all. Krista Hazel, she's like, I think the man in the van, right, when it comes to Colstrip Days. She's the one that's on the cart and the four-wheeler, like running around last minute.
Taking care of things.
Getting things on schedules.
Yeah.
Write the checks.
The bookkeeper.
And all the checks, the bookkeeper. Absolutely.
Keeps everybody in line.
And then John Williams, he's our grand marshal this year. Super
Yay.
awesome. Longtime mayor of Colstrip. How many mayors have we had in Colstrip?
Well, we've had two.
Half of all the mayors we've ever had in Colstrip.
That's right.
8 years? 27 years?
So we've been incorporated since 98, and I became mayor in 99.
That was
And then
27
I
years.
sat out for 4 years, sat on the city council, and then I got back into the mayor's office here about 7 years ago.
Most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time I've been the mayor. I was part of the process of incorporating.
You had to come up with a mayor.
Yeah.
We incorporated, actually the city incorporated in 1998, and I became mayor in 99. We started as a group in 97 to develop the idea of incorporating, and we were very successful at it.
So that was, correct me if I'm wrong, it was a company town before that, Montana Power Company.
Well, it was a company town, but before we incorporated, we were part of the county.
Okay. Just
And
unincorporated.
under county government. And of course, the companies were very much involved with the operation of the community. They owned most of the property, but they eventually transitioned out of what they considered their responsibilities of operating and maintaining the town. And they made that decision. They were in the process of making that decision when we incorporated. So it fit really well. Companies were interested in removing themselves from that operation, and the community, residents in the community, were very interested in becoming a part of it and incorporating. So we were successful at it.
Beyond a company town, become a city.
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, we've done very well.
I think so.
Well as a result of that decision.
It's been a good city. The same
I
way,
chose to live
same
here.
way the power company wanted to get out of the recreation business.
Yeah.
Because when we first got here in when I got here in 83, they were actually running the recreation department, hired a manager.
Carpa. Was it Carpa? Is that what they called it?
No, that was before.
Carpa. That was
Before CPR.
Actually,
Carpa.
before Carpa. Carpa was the first district, Colstrip Area Parks and Recreation District.
It was something else even before that then.
Well, it was all owned by the companies. It was run by the companies.
So they didn't even have a name for it. It was just
No, it was just part of the recreation. I was involved with that way early on. I was representing Montana Power and the owners, and there was an individual named Rick Dale, and he was with Western Energy Company. So the power plants and the mine, they operated the recreation. We shared in the cost of recreation, hired the directors, and then they incorporated as a district later on. And people wanted that to happen, and it was very successful. The district's been very successful.
Yeah, the reason they needed recreation is there was 5,000 construction workers here in the 80s. And when I first got here, there was 24 softball teams.
Oh, my
And we
gosh.
played on 2 fields, and you would play till 11 at night. Last game was
You'd
at
think
11.
These guys would be tired.
Well, they were.
Planned.
But all the workers needed recreation.
Yep.
They played softball, they played basketball, they played volleyball. And that's what the recreation managers made sure there was enough stuff for everybody to do.
So back then there were more workers than families. Were there a lot of people here that were here without families? Is that a fact or?
No, most of the people here were families. Had a camp, set up a camp on units 1 and 2 was being built. They set up a camp for single workers, and then further expanded the new camp when construction in 3 and 4. But there were mostly families that came in to work.
That's cool.
Peak population, I think, was 8,000 people as units 1 and 2 were operating and construction of units 3 and 4.
I was going to say that's about the same time my family started moving here, but it was kind of different. My dad moved here in 77, but he lived in Rosebud. And do you know the Finches? Robert Pattison, Larry Finch, Mary
Yeah.
Finch.
Yeah, Larry and Mary.
So
Larry
Larry
Patterson,
Mary Finch.
Mary Finch.
Yeah.
Mary Finch was my dad's sister-in-law at the time.
Oh, is that right?
Right on.
Yep. He was married to Joanne Finch.
Okay.
And they lived in Panama. The whole thing. They were logging down there with my brother and my stepbrother. Two of them got really sick and they had to move out of Panama.
Mm-hmm.
They had been in California. Well, so where are we going to go? Mary and Joanne's parents owned the bar in Forsyth, or Rosebud, the Longhorn now. I don't know what it was called back then. It's like, oh, let's go run the bar in Rosebud. So that's how my family ends up in.
Right on.
And then he worked for Off the Doll out here doing construction and stuff. But we were like the outsiders. We're in Rosebud. They drive back and forth and do their construction work and go back to Forsyth. Rosebud and Forsyth. I guess there were probably hundreds of people that made that trip every day.
Well, the highway at that time was
Not great.
jam-packed full.
Oh, it was. Yeah.
And then it wasn't as
Change of
good
shifts.
either, right?
Well, it was a really narrow road, very narrow. And you'd think that going north and south, it would be pretty much straight, but it was very windy. There was
Very
only a couple
windy.
places on that 30 miles that you could pass.
We'll just
And
stuck
there was
behind
no-
each other.
There was no berm. You were in trouble if you had a flat tire. You couldn't get off the highway to change a flat tire.
Stuck in the creek. Then there was the railroad crossing too, right? It wasn't the.
There was 2 railroad crossings. Yeah, there was a real bad accident on the one railroad crossing. At that time, my wife was a nurse, and the companies also operated the ambulance service,
Wow.
which was interesting. In those early days, I was an EMT. There was about 6 of us that were involved with the ambulance service. My wife was a nurse, and that particular accident, she was involved with that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I can imagine you get construction workers going up back and forth between.
Well, there was back in those days, there was no lights on the railroad crossings.
Yeah.
There were no lights, and the rail cars, the coal cars,
Heavy.
were all black.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a very dangerous situation.
Setting it up for failure. Oh, let's set all these cars out here a couple times. It's
When you talk
fine.
about construction workers too, when you try to get out of the plant when the shift was over, it would
Traffic
take almost an hour to get out of the plant. There's so many cars trying to get out of there. It was crazy. Traffic jam, Colstrip, Montana.
Southeastern Montana. I tell people like there's not one traffic light in this county, and they have to stop and think about that. There's no traffic lights. There's not a single traffic light in this entire county.
Yeah.
We have the flashing light in Forsyth, if it's still there, up by Heberly Ford. I love it. Is there 2 now? Yeah.
There's one on each exit.
But no actual boop, 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 boop. I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. I just can't do it. So, Bill, how long have you've been here since '83?
Got here in July of '83. Came up for the construction of 3 and 4. I was got out of school in Montana Tech and went down to Wyoming for 2 years, and then got offered a job up here. I was an environmental engineer, so I came up here, and it was only an 18 months temporary job.
Uh,
Look at you now.
43 years later.
Yeah.
18 months, longest 18 months
I
of your life.
decided to stay.
I like it.
Yeah, it was. Once I got here and saw the community, it was, I like it here.
Kind of grabs you. It's not for everybody,
No.
but for the people that are here, it's everything. I mean, I like being, I grew up in Rosebud, so Colstrip to me is the big city, but I've lived in, Germany, and I've been all over, lived in Seoul, Korea, and that's one of the biggest cities in the world. And I've driven some of the worst traffic, and I come back here and I don't even like driving in Billings anymore, And I pulled my wife out of Texas, and she grew up in Fort Worth.
Oh.
That's a big city. If you've been to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, it's a rat race. It's a zoo. I come back here and I'm like, yeah, this is for me. I love it.
Where you got to stop for turkey and the deer.
Right?
That's your general traffic jam.
There's a pheasant somewhere. I love it. Where'd you grow up?
In Wolf Point, I'm a Montana kid. I grew up there.
The Highline area?
Yeah, the wheat farms. It was pretty dang cold up there and windy.
Nothing to stop the wind.
Came right out of Canada.
I think I've been up there once in my life. We did a big loop. Like, okay, we saw the Highline. We saw Fort Peck. That was cool. I would love to get back up there and show my wife and kids. That's cool. I love it. Krista, you weren't born in Colstrip,
I was not. I was born in Wyoming.
but you made it to Colstrip as quick as you could.
Yeah, my dad moved here. My family moved here. He was a construction worker. He worked all over. We lived in Forsyth for a short time, Billings. But yeah, we're all born in Wyoming, and he came out here so that he could be a stay-up, like not a weekend dad, like working construction and then coming
Right.
home. And so he was very thankful for Colstrip. He was also literally my first coach and everything.
Isn't that
It
cool?
was just starting, baseball and everything. He was.
And we live in a place where people can do things like that pretty easily, I think.
Yeah, coach your own kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always looking for coaches at CPRD.
We'll plug that. We're always looking for coaches.
Always
at
looking for
CPRD.
coaches.
And nothing's far away. Like one of the things I learned working here is we're 4 square miles. You can make a lap around this town pretty quickly. I've done it thousands of times. And, you know, if something's going on at the house, you can be there in a couple minutes from anywhere in town. You're not going to get stuck behind anybody. And if you can't get there, your neighbor they'll show up. Your friend will show up. Somebody's going to be there.
I always tell people that it takes me, excuse me, it takes me 4 minutes to get to work. I get to go home for lunch.
Mm-hmm. And that's
There's not
consistent.
a lot of places that you can do that.
I lived right outside of Fort Hood, Texas in Killeen, and it's not huge. It's just congested. And I would drive out the gate of the base, take a right and stop on the road and wait. And it was 4 miles. And some days it was an hour and a half to get to my house.
Wow.
And there was no other way to do it because every gate that you try to go out, it's like leaving the power plant in 1981. I'm just going to sit here. And in the summertime, you know, it's 100 degrees and everyone's car's running. And
That would be crazy.
it is, and it's terrible. You've been here, so your whole life, still talking to Krista.
Yeah, I have. I went to college in Wyoming and then came back to Billings. And
Was that the years you said you were gone?
no,
Okay.
well, actually, sort of. No, I lived in Billings without going to college too for a little bit. Came back, kind of needed a reality check, remember who I was. Ended up meeting my ex-husband, having my kids, and my parents and 2 out of 3 of my brothers still lived here. And I was like, I don't want to raise my kids anywhere else. And,
Why would you? Yeah.
And so I stayed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell people I'm the OG coal miner's daughter.
You gotta come from somewhere. John, been here since 1971.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, my family and I moved down here in 1971. We came here just at the beginning of construction of units 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
We moved here from Butte. I've been in Butte for about a year.
What were you involved in there? In Butte? Was that mining or?
Well, no, I was preparing to come to Colstrip. I started my career with Montana Power Company after I got out of the Army, came out to Montana in 63 and started to work for Montana Power. Had a varied career with Montana Power. I began as a meter reader and worked in the office and worked on the line crew as an apprentice, a lineman, and then I worked in the warehouse as a storekeeper, and my career eventually wound up in Colstrip. And I came down here with the construction manager. He and I were the first 2 employees with Montana Power here in Colstrip.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
See, you're not OG.
No, he's OG. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Original. Who was the other employee?
Jim Rogers was his name.
Yeah.
He was a construction manager. He moved into town. His family moved in, and my family moved in.
Where did you live?
I lived over here in Woodrow's, and we had a small office trailer on the construction site. So, yeah, it was an exciting career. Actually, the site that Units 1 and 2 is on a wheat field.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Snyder was 2 years before that, he was raising wheat where we set up Units 1 and 2.
Wow.
And so,
I think we're going to put a power plant.
Completely changed Colstrip.
Right there.
I imagine Woodrow's was a little different back then.
So, I think, I don't know how many people there were lived in town. The only thing that was going on at that time was just the beginning of construction. Oftedal was doing the earthwork, and the mine had just been open 3 years. And there were probably less than 100 people that lived in town.
Yeah.
And grew to where we are now. But it was
So
an exciting time.
There's a little bit of this is always fascinates me because cities are usually old, right? And we celebrated our 100th a couple of years ago, but now this goes back to when it was a mine town, right? But there was a whole gap in there. Like we had a whole period of time where there was nothing being dug out of the ground, correct?
Well, there wasn't anything being done. Montana Power bought the town and the mine. They acquired all the assets from the railroad. I think it was about 1956. They acquired the town with the idea that eventually it was going to be utilizing the coal for energy. That was the plan. And the word was they bought the town, the mine, all of the equipment for about $1 million.
Wow.
Bought the whole operation.
Bought a town for $1 million.
That's
Bought the
crazy.
town. Most of the town was one of those issues. It came with the mine.
Yeah, okay, you have to have the
Yeah, you
town
have to
too.
take
They
the
didn't
town.
have the option. They bought the whole thing.
You're in the market for a coal
Yeah.
mine, but so in that interim time, I mean, there's got to be people living
Well,
here.
there were people living here, but they were primarily like school teachers, and some of the ranching community had homes in here. Montana Power had, I think, 3 employees that took care of the town. Had Nolan Fondrick, Obert Rye, and Bill McCullough. and they were the caretakers. And those folks were still here when we moved here. But they were the caretakers of the mine, and then they opened the mine. I think they opened the mine back up in about 1967 in that area to provide coal at the Cret plant that had just been constructed in Billings.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first coal-fired plant that Montana Power built, and it was from that idea that they made the decision that they were going to build 2 units in Colstrip. Actually, the initially plan was to build 1, and through their inner working relationships with other utilities, Puget wanted to become a part of the process. So they decided they would build 2 units, and Montana Power Company would own 1, Puget Sound Power and Light would own the other. But Montana Power had the good situation that they also owned the mine.
Yeah.
And they created a subsidiary of Western Energy Company to provide coal to the power plants. And the plants were designed around Rosebud coal. So that's how it all got started. Actually, the idea was on the drawing boards in the late 60s.
Mm-hmm. That's really cool. Because you talk about, I mean, just even our Forsyth, it's been there a long time.
Yeah.
I think in the late 1800s, really, and it was there at the beginning of the county. The county, I think, was formed in 1902 or 3, something like that. We're not going to talk to anybody that was around for that. You talk about Billings and how old Billings is, and you're not going to find people like John, a treasure, who, I'm not saying you're old. Okay, this is actually the opposite. It's that those things don't exist for those cities. We don't have people where you can reach back and have conversations with them and can show you through memories how that city has grown. How many trees were in Colstrip in 1971, for instance? I mean, you look at pictures from the 90s, like that we have up in City Hall across from your thing. I stop and look at that all the time. It's amazing to see just all those trailers along Chisholm and Prior Court and Laramie and I'm like, this town is full of, and then they're all building it. We're shipping out coal and we're building power plants and
building houses
and building homes. I mean, my house isn't that old; it's 50 years old. But I mean, it's to be able to reach back to someone that can say I remember when that street was. I go to Billings and you go out to Shiloh Road, 24th Street West even, and I tell Sarah, my wife, I remember when this was all wheat fields as far as the eye. She's like, good story, Grandpa. And that's all like that. I don't know what to call it. That it's not urban sprawl, but it's
development.
Sprawl. It's development. Like in those ways, it's not the central part of the city. It grows out.
Yeah.
Whereas Colstrip, it's only been in the last 60 years that it's grown because we're a very young city. We've only incorporated in 1998, and to be able to have someone that can look back and say, I remember when it was 4 streets around the park. Was it even called Obert Rye Park then?
No, it was just called Central Park. It really had no name on it. There was a big pine tree in the middle that they decorated every Christmas. It was just all open. That was it. It was just a big open area.
And now you go out there.
You had the Catholic church on one side of the park and the community church on the other side, on the 2 streets. But it was just an open area. So
and one of the things that John talked about when Montana Power bought the town, they came in and designed the town. In fact, they won awards for how they designed it.
I might want to have some words with some of those.
Well, they tried to design it to where the neighborhoods were, open, and there was a lot of green belt, open areas. It wasn't so compacted.
Yep.
And they did it in 3 area neighborhoods, and they put parks and open areas in every neighborhood. So each neighborhood would have its own playground park.
I love it. What do we have? 10 around
No,
town?
30.
Oh, we're more than
30.
that.
Oh, yeah, 34, I think.
I'm ashamed that I don't know that.
and I think they're mostly
gonna be driving around
all connected
counting.
together
Count them.
Right.
with bike paths to all connect. Most of the parks are connected.
Well, yeah, you can go from the high school all the way down to the town pump on a bike path and not cross a street. I mean, that was great for the kids to be able to come down to the swimming pool, ride their bikes all the way from the north end of town all the way to the swimming pool and not have to.
You could even get to Castle Rock Lake.
Well, yeah, you can go under and go over to by the bank and the entrance to the south entrance to the lake. It's just set up.
And we used to ride our bike from one end to the other growing up.
It was good planning.
That's
They did a
great.
good job.
I love it. I mean, I can go out my back gate, get on that path, and Probably need to do it more often, but it's there and it's awesome. It attracts people. That attracts the families and it keeps people here. Nobody complains about their taxes, right?
That's right.
No.
You know, it was all designed with the idea it was family. It was laid out for family living.
Yep.
Yeah,
You know,
quality
more-
of life for families. That's what they wanted here.
And it brings people in the long run or for the long term. It's not just people come in and work for 2 months, a year, 6 months, and hit the road. You're going to have people settled in and running things right and being invested in the town and being invested in their job. And that makes for better operations.
Oh, yeah, keep
Yeah.
all your employees. Yeah, I remember when I got here in 86, there was a lot of people that came from North Dakota and Minnesota, Eastern Montana, from Butte. One of the story is a lot of the guys from North Dakota and Minnesota played hockey. So they got here and they wanted to play hockey. So they came to CPRD, or at the time it was Carpa, and they wanted to build a skate rink to play hockey on. So they got them an area on the south end of town by the Little League fields where the skate park
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
That was a hockey
That was a
rink.
hockey
Millennium
rink.
The
Park.
hockey guys built that, and they had a hockey team, and they put up lights. And after work, they would all go down there every winter night and play hockey.
That's really cool.
So that was pretty cool for the workers to come here and bring part of their culture from North Dakota and Minnesota.
Why didn't that stick? You notice that?
They got old.
Why
They could only play hockey for so long.
But their kids didn't pick it up.
Hockey for kids is big in North Dakota and Minnesota.
Yeah.
But, Miles City has teams, Billings, Bozeman. But, here this was a basketball town, baseball, a little
Football.
bit. Yeah. Hockey didn't.
That's a
was not
strange
big.
thing to me. I spent a lot of time outside of Montana in the Army. Like, oh, Montana, you're way up north. You guys play hockey? I'm like, not really.
That's
It's
not
too
one thing.
cold.
That's
You
where
know,
I learned to skate.
One of those things
Yeah.
that just
Is on
changed
that
over the
rink?
years. When the CPRD building was constructed, it had racquetball courts, handball courts in it.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah, that was big in
It
time.
just went, and then we had tennis courts all over the community, and tennis was a big deal. 30 years ago, there were a lot of.
Yeah.
I'd get up in the morning and before I go to work, we'd get up and we'd meet down to the tennis courts and play tennis, and then you go after that, you go play racquetball or handball. Both of those were, and you had to have reserve the room.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a big thing.
I know I've talked with Anthony Weist
Yeah.
about rack. He's like, man, we used to be there
yeah.
all the
All
time.
the time. Yeah.
They had leagues. They had
Yep.
racquetball leagues and tournaments.
And then evolved into softball. The softball was really big.
So many teams, like you
Back
said.
during,
Teams.
started during the construction days. It was really big. A lot of softball teams.
And one of the things we'll talk about here is we have a trap shoot for Colstrip Days, and how did all that get built?
Well, that all started. The trap club all started with some of the guys from Western Energy, the miners, were really interested in trap. And so the old road out to the mine area that when it was out past power plants, they set up their first trap field out there, and they called it Spec Willis, was the mine superintendent, and he really loved to shoot trap. So that was the first area that they had traps set up for Spec Willis.
Yep.
So it was a big deal. And then they moved eventually over to where it is now, but that's just through the evolution of things, and that's just the way it happened. And it was interesting, too. They had, back in those early days, they had a real active gun club, gun club. And we actually had some inside shooting ranges here in town. They're located where units 3 and 4 cooling towers are located now is where the inside shooting range was.
Wow.
So it's
amazing. Like
you just go through an evolution of
Interest from
interest
different people.
and property that was available and that type of thing. Yeah.
Because now we're on pickleball is obviously
That's a big deal now.
Is that the court that they put in this last year? Is that also tennis? I don't know.
It is. It's tennis court with 4 pickleball courts, that go across the middle.
Yeah.
But you can still play tennis from
Cool.
one end to the other. Yeah.
Who was the tennis coach? Marshall? Didn't he coach tennis? I don't know his last name.
We never had a
Marshall?
tennis.
Marshall Mead?
Marshall Mead.
Yeah, Marshall used to be a real tennis nut. A friend of mine, and we had a bunch of us that we'd get together in the morning, and Marshall was out on the tennis court. We played Marshall Mead, and I had a real good friend. His name was Vern Cleveguard, and he and I played a lot of tennis in those early days.
That's really cool.
Oh, yeah.
And you come out to like the middle of nowhere, southeastern Montana, and we have whatever you want to do. It's here.
Everything started with just, you know what, it sounds cool, what we should build. And they made it happen.
Yeah, if you look at, Central Park, over Rye Park now, and there's like all the landscaping and the pavilion and the facility, the building is amazing, and the water splash park and something like watching that all like grow over the years. I mean, it's got to make you feel something.
Well, the building itself was original idea where a group of individuals in the community got together and they wanted to have a recreational facility. And so Western Energy had the engineering, and they developed the idea. Martin White was the individual that was primary on that. So a group of the residents got together, and the companies that were working here at the time volunteered money and equipment to construct the original building. That's how that building got into place.
Like we want it.
And that's exactly what happened. The people got together, and the companies that were here at that time were very interested in becoming involved in the community. So they participated with not only the construction talent that they had within their own organization, but also financially. And it was all supported by Montana Power Company and Western Energy.
You had the people that could do it.
Yeah.
Right.
There's so many stories like that, and one of them is the path around the lake. CPRD got a recreation easement with the power plant.
Yep.
And so they put in the small picnic area up there with the grass and everything. But somebody wanted a path around the lake, so they went over and talked to the mine. And the mine guys said, "Yeah, we know how to move dirt."
I have a bulldozer.
So they brought all their
several.
equipment over and built that path in about 3 days.
Nobody stops them.
And then we had Power Road. We had all these trails. And then there was Power Road from the power plant up around, and it tied in by Pine Butte and that underpass there. And we needed to complete it because it was just the highway, and then it was like 6 feet of gravel. And the guys wanted to walk to work and ride their bike and everything. So we said, let's get this done, pave it, and, make it safer.
Yeah.
So the engineers from the power plant and the guys from the power plant and the blade operators and the bottom ash, and
Came up with a plan
they
and-
came and built it and made it safe for the guys to ride to work. So
Getting back and forth to work,
if you can think it, dream it, we'll get it done.
You find somebody that'll do it. We know several people that can operate some equipment and plan things, and engineers with big brains. Blows my mind. I love it. I'm like a hammer, it looks cool. Okay, I can do it physically, but like the planning that goes into like the planning on a road, for instance, all the layers on a highway. And it's neat. I drive on it.
I was, down at we were just talking about the skating rink. After the skating rink, we had all this bottom ash. We decided to make a BMX track.
Oh, awesome.
Because the kids wanted a BMX track. So the guys came over again with their equipment. They built all these hills and
It was
jumps
so
and
cool.
everything.
A starter place with the
races
top,
and-
everything. Yeah.
And you would think that, out here in the middle of nowhere, these people would be behind the times. Absolutely not. I mean, Colstrip's always been like right there. Like, oh, that sounds cool.
kinda
That sounds
cutting edge.
The guys want this. Let's make one. The kids want to do that. Let's do it. But yeah, you can't. There's no other city, I think, that you can look back and, like I said, having John and you here, and they can just see like this is how it grew over the years. I love that. I don't know, blows my mind. Colstrip Days, right?
Yeah, that's our celebration. Yeah, let's talk about Colstrip Days.
At one point, John, you must have been here when there was a.
Well, here's the history right here. It's LaDonna Cope.
And the parade of kids.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Yeah, I've got it written down here in 1975. LaDonna Cope is the recreation director that, she was running Western Energy's recreation. So she decides in that park where there was just one pine tree, she decides to have a kids parade, something for the kids to do. I don't know if they dressed up and what they did, but in 1975 in the summer, and they wanted to do it on the 4th of July weekend. And then they thought, no, everybody's going to be gone on the 4th of July.
Sure.
Well, let's move it back a week. And so then on the Saturday, she had 40 kids come out, and they did the parade and had a picnic or whatever and celebrated.
Wasn't one of them.
I wasn't
Not yet.
alive.
Not
yet.
1975.
Not yet.
I was a kid then.
John, do you remember that?
Oh yeah, and it was coincidental with the overhaul. Like Bill said, the first thought would be like a July 4th celebration, but then they knew that people would want to go somewhere else and celebrate 4th of July. But they wanted to do it in the summertime, so the thought was, well, let's do it at the end of overhaul. And typically overhaul is over us at the latter part of June. And so that was the decision that was made years ago. They would do it the last weekend in June. And everybody would still be here in town.
That's what I was going to ask. Yeah.
Everybody'd still be in here in town because the workers would plan their vacations, at the end of overhaul. They would not be able to leave town during the overhaul period because that's when their work was required at the plants. So that's what they did. That was the decision that would be the best weekend, would be the last weekend in July or in June. And so that's how it all that's how it all got started.
Kind of a celebration for ending overhaul too, huh? Yeah. For all kinds of families.
So and then that's how that's the reason they do the fireworks at that time, because typically everybody would be gone over the 4th, somewhere else at the 4th of July. So that's how it got started. And it's worked out very well.
Fireworks celebration pre-4th of July. And then has it been continuous since 75? Is it every year or
every year?
Except for 2020.
I was going to say we missed it in 2020.
We did. We canceled.
COVID.
That was the hardest decision to make.
We don't be talking about the COVID.
Well, sorry, we canceled it. So.
Yeah, no, it was hard.
I can imagine. You have,
a huge town celebration with that many people getting together. We just said no. So other than that, it's been continuous. Like we were talking about, LaDonna had 40 kids that first year, then 80 kids the next year. And then the third year, she said they actually had the parade around. Well, it was a Obert and Signe Rye. That was the dedication to the park. They named that park Obert, Rye, and Signe. So that was the actual start of a big parade. Was the dedication of the park.
What year was that?
Initially, that was called Obert Rye Park, and then it was changed because Signe had as much of a role in our community, which was Obert's wife. So they changed it to just to recognize both of them.
Both of them,
with Rye Park. They were an amazing family. The Rye family was an amazing family when I moved here.
Do you know when they first moved here?
Well,
put you on the spot with the whole history question.
Jeepers. Obert came out here to work for the original mining company from, I think they must have come from here like Minnesota or somewhere like that. But I'm not really sure where they came from. But he came as a mine worker. He operated a drag line. Matter of fact, that's what his job was at the mine. Yeah. And you can see the results of some of his effort when you drive south of town, off to the right. When you come over that, you'll see that there's a large ravine down through there.
Absolutely. Yep.
Well, that's Obert's work.
He did that?
Yeah.
How many times I've driven by that going,
that's his work.
I wonder what that was. I wonder who made that.
That was part of the mine.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And then I imagine well, we don't want to get into all the infrastructure. We'll stay on track.
Yeah, stay on Colstrip Days.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Obert pointed that out to me years ago. He was such an amazing gentleman, and I would go hunting with Obert Rye.
Lucky.
In those early years. And we could go anywhere because everybody knew Obert. Yeah. He didn't have to ask permission. If I was with Obert, I didn't worry about, getting permission or anything like that from the ranchers because everybody knew him.
Wow.
And he had pretty much the freedom of being able to go hunting wherever he wanted to go.
He
was
awesome.
An amazing guy.
That's really cool. So the dedication was in 77?
Well, 78. I think they said the third year from 75. 78 was the dedication, and then they started the actual parade route.
So it was just the kids early on, and then when did they kind of evolve into that? What we know of a parade with floats and
when they did the dedication is when they said they started doing a big parade.
Oh wow.
Probably horses came in from the ranch.
Woohoo! Way more animals than we have now.
Yeah. You can make anything happen. Get all
absolutely what this town is.
The 4-H kids.
We do have horses. You get a wagon train and a big wagon from Miles City that comes in and gives kids rides.
And people.
So we do have horses.
We do have kids and families that do ride their horses sometimes too.
Yeah. We could get weird. I mean, get some stuff from Zoo, Montana, and bring in some the bear, whatever they have. You just parade it down.
We had a bear, remember?
Oh,
they caught one.
Oh my god! Let's hear about the bear. Is it bad?
No, they ended up there. It was out by the lake, and
somebody caught one.
Fish, Wildlife, and Parks.
Wildlife and Parks caught one.
They told him not to live around Colstrip. took him out in the hills.
Let him go. Let him go.
Yeah.
We'll just let it go at that. They let him go.
They brought him out to the fishing day before and let the kids all look in the container
thing.
to look at it. Yeah, it was a cub.
That was actually pretty recently, right?
Yeah.
2 years ago.
A couple years,
years,
yeah, now.
I was sitting up on the road one time doing my work, and I saw something in my rearview mirror running across the road, and I thought, it's too small to be a horse, and it's too big to be a dog.
Dog.
I'm like, look! Oh, it's a bear. It was a black bear, but it was like really light colors, kind of early in the year. And I think the next day they were trying to chase it around. It was in the trees. People were like, you guys have bears out there? Yes, we have. We have bears out in eastern Montana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
we
it.
see them.
Somebody posted a video of it going down like Piedmont on Facebook, and I was looking, I was like, wait, that's my house.
It's right by my house.
And I have a porch. So when I was like, all right, when I drove up in my driveway after work, and I'm like, looking.
Bear.
You go, hey bear, hey bear,
Hey bear.
hey bear.
I love that.
I was like, whoa.
Jingle your keys.
Yeah.
And scare the bear. We scare the bear. I love it.
And
How
yeah,
many
no
times-
bears in the parade.
No.
No. Okay. This is Colstrip. We make things happen. So early days, then you've been involved with Colstrip Days for 36 years. It's not a small amount of time.
Yeah, since I started with CPRD, and I started in 89. The district started in 87, and I got on the board in 89.
Oh wow.
Colstrip Days was run by the Chamber of Commerce for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just looking at the date. I think it was 2014 when they just didn't have enough participation from the businesses, and it got to be too much for them. And then that's when the quality of life took over to organize it and run it.
So quality of life. What is it?
The Quality of Life Corporation was established in 2003, and it was a combination of the school district and the park district getting together. And the main reason we established it is the school was saying that some of the kids were at the town pump and just all over town just
Needed
waiting
better
to get
things
to
to
school
do.
because both their parents took off to work. And so the superintendent came to us, to the park district, and said, is there anything that we can do that we can establish a program for these kids? And there again, we got creative and said, we can do this.
Yeah.
And so we already had the after school program, in fact, in this building. PRD ran the after school program, and there was 50, 60 kids in it already.
Gosh.
So we go, let's make a breakfast club where we can get these kids to this room in the morning, and then we'll get them to school. And it will help all the working parents in Colstrip.
Was it all mostly elementary and middle school age kids?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
The little kids.
Elementary. I guess we felt once they get to middle school and high school, they can almost take care of themselves.
We hope.
It was just elementary kids. Yeah.
So they didn't
And
have far to go then. Or-
Yeah. So we
Well, I guess you'd have to go to
established,
Pine Butte
a
from here.
501c3 organization, and our officers were the superintendent from the school and the president of the school board and the director of CPRD and the president of the board
Oh wow.
of CPRD. And so that was our officers. And then we got 3 at-large members of the community. We got together and we did fundraising and got money enough to pay for a supervisor. And she would get here at 6 and people dropped their kids off. And that program has gone from, like I say, probably 5, 7, 8 kids, the first year, up to 33, 35 kids now. That's what we run on the Breakfast Club. So that's how the Quality of Life Corporation was started in Colstrip. And then because it was a 501c3, we had lots of people coming in and saying, can you sponsor Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts? And that's one thing that we do is we sponsor the Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts troops of Colstrip. Yeah, through the years, we've done lots of different things. And then, like I say, in 2012, we won't have a Colstrip Days unless we keep running and organizing Colstrip Days.
Yeah.
Who was the last bastion of Chamber of Commerce that was kind of holding on to it, keeping Colstrip Days going? Do you remember that?
Rick Harbin. Rick Harbin ran Colstrip Days. My gosh, that guy, he did everything. And the Chamber of Commerce was, Kathy Frank from the bank and Rick Harbin and the flower
city.
shop and a few.
We were involved.
The city,
and
the
Rick
city
with
was
Rick.
involved.
And it wasn't a chamber. What did we call ourselves? We didn't call ourselves a chamber. It was
Area businesses?
Yeah, it was
Colstrip area businesses.
Colstrip area business.
There
You got to have an acronym for everything.
Yeah, gotta have it.
Colstrip area association business. Cab.
It was
Cab is what it was called.
Yeah.
So anyway, Rick, oh my gosh, yeah, he would spend hours, you get all these donations. Well, he knew everybody in town. And Rick was hired as the first director at CPRD in 1987.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so then he's making all these contacts.
The relationships.
Everywhere.
Yep.
Everywhere. Out of town.
He liked to
you
talk.
know what you're going to do.
Rick liked to talk. And so he knew everybody. So, yeah, Colstrip Days was just a natural for him. And he'd get all these businesses to donate prizes, and then they'd have prizes, and they'd sell raffle tickets, and we'd earn about $8,000, and that's what our budget was for the Colstrip Days.
So that was our Chamber of Commerce.
That's what it was. Colstrip Area Association of Businesses. We called it CAB. But we just didn't. The evolution was we just couldn't continue it as businesses because the businesses lacked interest.
Yeah, you have to have participation.
And then that's when the transition occurred with the quality of life in the school.
So was that a natural transition? Or was it a forced hey, we've got this thing. We don't want to get rid of it. Go.
It was because Rick Harbin was with CPRD and he was with CAB. So he continued to do it. So quality of life goes, we gotta help Rick out. And so that's what we did is quality of life took it over.
So I see the beginning. Gosh, what was her name?
LaDonna
Cope, parading a couple kids around, and to what it is now. We'll talk about this year's and how it's going to be the biggest and best. Were there times in between there where it kind of ebbed and flowed, like nobody cares about Colstrip Days, or now everyone really cares? Has it always kind of been a steady growth, or?
I think it's always been steady.
I think it's always been steady.
Yeah,
it's gained.
Yeah.
It's gained. I think it's gained. When CAB got out of it, it kind of maybe dropped off a little bit, and then quality of life got involved, and then that added stimulation into the activities associated with Colstrip Days, additional interest, and so it's gained. Every year it's a little better.
That's good.
And we have a lot of people that don't live here, that graduated from here or grew up here, and this is their time to come home. They always plan vacations around it.
Like reunions, those types of things, they gear it around Colstrip Days.
This is the big celebration that kids and families come back to see everybody.
They want to show their kids, or they want to show, their families what if they're in a big city now, this is small town, this is how I grew up.
Yeah, they want to bring their spouses, their wife, their husband back to Colstrip and said, this is where I grew up. This is kind of a cool place.
Yeah, I can relate. I've seen that, and I've done that. But I've seen, working here, and people coming back, like, who are you? Yeah, I graduated in 1985, and we did the play. I helped my mother-in-law Edwina with the play, and Joanne last year. I was the stage manager backstage at the high school, and we had our actors would go off stage, and I just kind of keep them quiet and doing what they're supposed to be doing. And I went out the back door, and there was just two ladies wandering the halls at the high school. I'm like, hey, who are you? And this was a practice. It was a rehearsal. It wasn't during the show. The only people in the high school were us. I graduated here in 1985, and I just wanted to look around. I'm like, I'm not sure anyone's supposed to be in the school right now, but okay. I wasn't in charge of the school. It was just very awesome. And she said she hadn't come back in, I think it had been more than 20 years.
It might have been their reunion, actually.
It could have been, yeah. Because if it was 85, there's probably one of those big 40-year anniversary or whatever. And
whether it's your 10-year, 20-year, 30-year, it doesn't seem to matter. I mean, those people definitely come back, and we always got together for other things like barbecues and stuff like that. But it's every class comes back. It's like an all-class reunion all the time.
Yeah.
And I really want to thank you guys for bringing the play back, because we grew up with
Coal
players. I loved that growing up.
Very active group.
Yeah.
Put on a couple plays every year. And
So
Colstrip Days was one of the periods that they had a play.
Edwina and Joanne, they want to bring it back. I guess we can't bring it back under that name.
Right.
They can call it whatever they want and do more than just.
But just a theater group to be back is a great idea.
It was so cool growing up. They always did the best plays.
They did.
And,
I was just going to tell you, one of my favorite plays was The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fun.
And John was the
Scarecrow.
Scarecrow.
Uh-huh.
Excuse me?
Wally McRae was the lion.
Cowardly Lion.
That was the best play
That
ever.
was your favorite?
That was my favorite. Yeah.
I gave
awesome.
Joanne a big
Actually,
hug.
We
after the
did,
first year for that.
and it, we did a melodrama every year, and then do a musical, and had
Were you singing?
Yeah,
John was singing.
I
Yeah.
well, I
love
did
it.
in The Wizard of Oz,
Yep.
and I was Daddy Warbucks,
For Annie.
and they
Orphan
did
Annie?
Guys and Dolls.
Wow.
And
Did they do Oklahoma?
Oklahoma?
Yeah,
The very-
classics, man.
the
They had a
melodrama.
big group. You had what, maybe 30?
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
yeah, it was big. It was a big deal.
It was a big deal.
We did melodrama every year.
Mm-hmm.
Melodrama. Yeah, I was a villain on several plays. I recall I was Rhinestone Fred from Alaska Land.
Oh wow.
So mean myself, I couldn't stand.
I love it.
Sue Allred was she was a heroine, and Sue was about 5'0", and we danced
Tall and
on
short.
one part of the play. She and I danced cheek to cheek.
You had to bend over and
Yeah, so it was amazing.
That's
It
so much
was,
fun.
It was a fun time.
it's supposed to be.
It is. Yeah, it's set up that way.
I mean, we have hard work here, and if you're not balancing that with good times and fun, oh my gosh. What were you going to say, Bill?
Well, I was going to say, when we talked about getting Colstrip Days better and growing, and we saw that it was kind of moving along. It really needed a boost. And this was after the Quality of Life Corporation took over, and we looked at it and we thought, we can make this better. And we wanted to try to get a few more things for families and a few more things for teens. At the Colstrip Days, we always had the kids game in the park and the big splash in the pool, but we were kind of missing out for the teenagers and some of the adults. There was just so much going on, even just in 3 days. Well, we decided we couldn't do it just by ourselves with Quality of Life Board. There was only 7 of us. So we asked the community, we said, we want to form a Colstrip Days committee. Would you be willing to be involved and help us organize?
And nobody stepped up.
No, this is Colstrip.
Everybody
Colstrip.
steps up.
Yeah, we had Patty Dunn come in, and she helped organize this committee.
Yeah.
And she does advertising and a few other things. And Krista still runs the parade, gets her
And
whistle
I
out.
order
tweet,
I get to
organize.
pick out the prizes.
So anyway, we've got maybe 7, 8 people on that committee.
Leslie Langan.
We got Gene Weir, the
Oh,
car
yeah.
guy to run the
Yep.
car show.
Glenn Logan.
Glenn Logan to run the music.
Sierra West is our
Our IT,
our
our
yeah.
Facebook gal. She can
Man in the van.
Yeah, so she can get stuff out there to the people, what's going on.
Liz Dudley organizes so well everything in the park, like
And
all the
CPRD is
vendors
heavily
and stuff.
involved
Yeah,
still.
absolutely.
Still, just because
Yeah.
there's so much involved with, the parks.
The
and
infrastructure of it, right?
Events, yeah.
You got the places to do things and the
But what we did
Facilities.
is food at Colstrip Days always used to be maybe 1 or 2 food trucks there. And the lines would be like 2 hours to get a hot dog
Yeah.
or a hamburger. Okay, so the first couple of years, Liz brought in like 4 trucks.
yeah.
And now we've got a little bit of choice. And now we've got 6 trucks. And this year, I don't know, we might even be 8
I think we're like either 7 or 8 right
8
now.
trucks.
Yeah.
And then our
And
vendors.
then the vendors in the park that have food
their
as
stuff.
well.
Amish
Yeah.
donuts.
Yeah, we
Very
forget the
popular.
Amish donuts. Oh my.
carbs.
Very popular.
And then the vendors in the park, it got to be where we opened it up so people could come in and sell their crafts. And that was kind of cool because it's a Saturday afternoon and people are walking around and visiting and buying stuff.
The weather,
Okay, so
the
it
weather's
went
usually good.
And we went to a vendor list and we went out and said, hey, do you want to, we went to Forsyth, Billings, and we started getting people interested, because more and more people are showing up at Colstrip Days. So we went from 12 vendors. Last year we had 54 vendors.
That park was full.
And the park is full. I mean, there's only room for like 55 vendors in the park. So we're at max. But that there again, it just makes it so much more fun for people to come in and be able to walk around and look at, vendors selling their crafts. So we've tried to make it better. And we've had to expand Wednesday. I mean, we used to just do Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
I think
Sunday.
2023, it was specifically scheduled as a 4-day event that year, right? We had the big concert over at the softball or the baseball fields there, softball fields.
Softball
Oh, that
fields,
was
that was that Sunday.
Bogus.
Susie Boggins.
Thank
Susie
you.
Boggins.
I was going to say Susie, and I'm going to say
that
it
actually
wrong.
turned out really well because
So
Glenn
awesome.
really pushed. Let's make a big concert. We want a big concert. We want to bring a name in.
Yeah.
We go,
Glenn's our music guy.
yeah, and so
and
we
Irish
go,
one,
I don't
and-
know, and then we go Susie Bogus, and we go, oh, I don't know, and
Yeah.
we're kind of really,
It's
questioning
a
ourselves because
Sunday.
it was going to cost.
People
Oh,
are driving
man.
home or recovering. So we were like, will it fly?
People were out there.
And it was,
So-
it
we
went
had
really
that
well.
concert Sunday afternoon. It was beautiful.
Oh, the weather was
sun was out,
amazing.
and she was amazing.
Yep.
And the people just
Sounded
loved it.
good.
They loved it. Yeah.
That was awesome. And so I was thinking about that, and I saw the sign, the dates. Are we adding?
Yep. And we
Yeah.
added
So
more
now,
now. We
is
start
this-
on Wednesday.
Is this a permanent thing or until?
No, it's
Further notice.
It's going to be 5 days as long as we can.
We can
Everybody's
fill 'em.
still doing
Yeah.
all their events.
So I was wondering about that, if that was tied into the big 250th this year, or if that was just going to be a going forward type thing.
I think we just have so much going, and Saturday is the park.
Yeah.
So it's hard to do other activities during that time at the park. One, because the music, the visiting, all the vendors, everything like that. It's hard to pull away from that, whether you don't want to give up your parking spot. You're just like, the kids are running around. And so it was really hard, I think, to have other things happening during that time. And so I think this works out way better to kind of spread it out a little bit more.
You're not stressed
and-
about trying to get to 3
Yeah.
events.
Yeah.
Like one of the newer ones is the cornhole tournament,
Yeah.
which has gotten huge. I don't know if they
Huge.
had like 40 teams last year. Yeah. And so we moved that one to Wednesday or Thursday.
Kind of gets its
Got
own
to-
little time slot there.
Yeah.
We have Irish bowling on Wednesday.
Oh, that moved to Friday, didn't we? Oh, that was Irish bowling was another new one that
Yep, I remember the
Glenn
one
Logan
that-
came up with. And that was very family fun. The kids can go out and play and you get, I don't know if it's 2 or 4 players, but you roll that big metal ball,
Yeah.
down the bike path and see how far you can go in the number of throws. It was just fun. And I think we're moving that out to the golf course this year.
And it was
It's down the bike path.
Down the
by
bike path,
town
yeah,
pump,
yeah.
So yeah, we've
Yeah,
got,
it's out at the golf course, holes 1 through 5.
that's really cool.
and we've got a global nighttime golf
Is
thing
that-
going on.
That's new.
Is that
Yeah,
new?
that's
Is that
new,
new
yeah.
this year, or did we have it last year?
No, it's
Nope,
new this
it's
year.
new this
so
year.
So Montana, summertime, it doesn't get dark until kind of late.
This
Looking at
is 9 o'clock
10.
there. You got to register at night by 9 and 10 p.m. it start.
10 p.m. golfing.
yeah,
There's going to be music out there. And
You have speakers and like loudspeakers with music on the
Yeah.
golf course. That's like a party, like a rock
Yeah.
concert.
yeah,
I might have to do that.
yeah. You just have to stay up late that night.
Right. And it's probably better for me because I'm not a great golfer. I'm golfing in
night,
the
yeah.
dark.
Yeah, then you can say,
Nobody's-
did I lose my ball or did it go in the hole?
This might be easier to find too, right? It's a glowing ball out there.
they're going to have glow foam and music from 9:30 to 11:30
Oh, that's really
in the
cool.
parking lot.
Yeah. And the brain freeze will be there.
Yep.
I like the brain freeze.
Good stuff. Yeah, one of the other things that we tried last year was we brought in the paintball tent.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
for kind
Yeah,
of the
yeah, yeah.
kind of the teenagers.
Yep.
And I think we're bringing that.
Did that do well? I didn't get to go down there
It,
and see
it
it.
did. Yeah, I mean, it was the kids that were excited.
It's like paintless
About-
paintball, right?
Yeah, but you get 5 people on a team.
Mm-hmm.
When you go in on opposite ends of the tents.
Sure.
And they've got big blockades all over, and you just run around and shoot each other for 5 minutes, and then you
Relieve some
come out.
tension.
Yeah.
Come out best friends.
So-
so I'm gonna have to get the kid
This
down there.
Company Splat. We get that
Yeah.
from Splat.
Yeah.
And
Company out of Billings.
Are they the
And
ones
they-
that do the wall?
Yeah, the
paintless
slide-
paintball
the slide.
slides and the large bouncy house.
Yeah.
Who does the climbing thing? Isn't there a climbing wall with harnesses?
There was, Splat does it, and we tried that 2 years ago.
I
And we
remember
did
that.
a climbing wall and a zip line.
Yep.
And they brought that in from Billings. We brought a company from Billings that did axe throwing. I don't know if you
Oh,
were here
fun.
when. Did you try that?
No, I saw the booth set up
Oh,
over
yeah.
there.
I
That was
didn't either.
fun.
I wanted to.
I've seen the videos where the axe comes flying back. That'd be me. I'd be like,
So one of the best stories that I've got of a Colstrip memory, Colstrip Days,
mm-hmm.
is, and this had to be 10 years ago. Okay, so the Hazel family, who is like a tree company.
So Rosebud County history. I grew up in Rosebud. When the Hazers moved to Rosebud, they lived right across the street from us. Clint's younger brother.
Clint and Cheryl, is it Cheryl?
So Cheryl is his mom. It's Doug and Sherry.
Right.
And they had 3 kids, Clint and Annie and Josh. Josh is a year younger than me. And he He passed away about 12 years ago, but he was 6'8", I believe, when he finally grew. And when he was little, he was heads above all of us. And my mom, Rosebud's a tiny town. We meet a new kid. Hey, you're our new best friend, So we go home and, hey, Mom, this is Josh. And, we're standing here and Josh is up here. Hey, Josh, how old are you? I'm 6. Okay. And that was it. Like, Josh was just this huge kid. He was awesome. But the Hazers I've known him my entire life. He's probably one of the people here in the county I've known as long as anybody else. But anyway, I love talking about Hazers.
So, sidelight is Cheryl was my freshman English teacher in Wolf Point.
No way.
Yeah,
she was my freshman English teacher and
there you go.
Rosebud.
So anyway, Clint and the family is in Colstrip Days, and they're raising money for the kids. They set up a paintball booth, and I don't remember if you remember this, but the kids dressed up Levi jackets, motorcycle helmet, bibs on. They did a human shooting gallery. They started over here. No, they started over here. They ran across this tent, or a backdrop.
Yep.
And they let kids
shoot them with
paintballs.
Guns.
And they earned a lot of money.
That would have been so fun.
These guys are letting us shoot them with
But yeah.
That is so fun.
That's crazy. And then they also they brought out, they were working with trees at the time.
Mm-hmm.
They brought out their tree cutting stilts. And they let people get up on the stilts and they walked them around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see what that was like.
It made them 6 feet taller.
Oh, yeah.
It was cool.
That sounds
So anyway, that was a Colstrip Day story.
I love Colstrip Days.
Yeah.
I love
So anyway,
stories.
we're trying to do events, new events, more events, just like you say, to get it spread out a little bit more, but try to hit, the little kids and then the teenagers, middle kids, and then the big kids.
Yeah,
I'm
something for
wrestling.
everything.
We still have,
Everybody,
the softball
Yep.
tournament,
The Ranger
the alumni game.
game. Yeah. So the softball tournament, how long has that been going on?
We just started that.
Back up. It used to.
Well,
yeah.
okay.
So is it
I was
on
gonna
and off?
say.
On again,
Okay.
off
I
again?
grew up playing during
Yeah.
Colstrip Days.
The Colstrip Days softball tournament was the biggest in eastern
It was
Montana.
huge.
Really?
Back in the
Huge.
80s, 90s, maybe even in 2000.
Claim to fame here.
24 teams, and we had to cut teams off because everybody
was
wanted to come to
huge.
Colstrip Days to play softball.
That's cool.
So
it was
fun.
a Friday, Saturday, Sunday tournament.
We got out of there
Big
late.
thing.
Yeah,
It was
late
a
Sunday. But
night.
yeah, it was huge. But now we brought it back,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a community softball where we go Western Power Plant,
Yeah.
the city. They all get teams, CPRD.
So I was going to say how the teams are each sponsored by an entity.
Well, and they try to be, they get as many city workers together as they can.
Oh, yeah. So they're
CPRD
from
So you're
within
going to be
workers.
playing
So-
this year, right?
No.
So there was just 6 teams.
Yeah.
And then they played, when we started out, it was a
2-day.
3-day.
Yeah. Oh, 3 day.
3
Yeah,
day.
it was. When
So,
we
and then
first
it
started
got
out.
to be too much. So now it's a 1 day.
Yeah. So, I mean,
And then league starts
2
right
softball
after.
games in
It's
1
good.
day is
Right.
good enough because, like I say, there's too much else going on. That
oh, yeah. If you pack too much into it, then everyone's going to kind of miss
Yeah,
something
miss
that they
something.
wanted to do.
It's inevitable.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You always have
And
to
that was so cool that we brought back the theater
oh,
Oh,
yeah.
action
I
Friday
love
and
that.
Saturday.
Yeah.
That first time that we brought it back, we rented the big tent, out
Yeah.
of Sheridan for the Friday night
And the big
performance.
storm.
Big storm, rainstorm. We didn't care. We just sat
They
in the
said,
tent.
it's like I was
and-
talking with Angela Longacre. I think she was in at that area. She said, it was so much fun. That wind was blowing and it was raining. Everyone's in there just laughing and it was
Yeah.
amazing. Then we'll move it into the high school next year. The high school really
And
stepped up though.
thank heavens we have that option. Yeah, to move it there. But yeah, I was excited. Both the boys were back for Colstrip Days when
Mm-hmm.
it first came back, and I was like, we gotta go. This is what we grew up doing.
All right.
What else
Excuse
is
me.
so? What else is new this year? Is there anything new? First time this year?
Like glow golf and
Glow golf.
let's see.
That's a lot of words.
We moved to the veteran ceremony too this year.
We moved it. That's John. That's your thing.
That's gonna be Thursday at 5.
How many years have we been doing that now?
We just started it. This is the 4th year, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
That what we did is one time we had a relatively active American Legion group, and they did things during Veterans Day and other activities, and then it just kind of a lot of things were lost interest, and people moved on to other things. And here, about 5 years ago, the city worked to deal with parks and recreation on one of the little parks that they had that was a fountain park. And we went through a transition and we turned that into a veterans park. City took over the operation of that and put up flags, and there's an emblem down there on the large rock. And then we started to doing a veterans ceremony during Colstrip Days, and bring folks in, bring the National Color Guard from Lame Deer.
Yep.
Has come up several times, and we've done different things. Flag ceremony, we did a number of things. Had a couple speakers, and so we're planning on continuing that with this year's celebration. And one of the things that we're doing is that we're trying to accumulate the names of the various veterans in our community to be able to recognize all of those individuals this year. And we've got a list started at City Hall, and we want to do something special this year. Everything has, at this point, has not been defined. But we'd like to do something special this year with it being the 250th year anniversary. And you can appreciate that, Jim. You're a veteran, and as am I. And
I was also born on the 4th of July.
Really?
Oh, that's kind of special.
That's when I celebrate mine, because mine's the 6th. So when we were always together, we would celebrate mine on the 4th.
I love it.
So that's what we're doing, something like that. It'll turn out very nice.
I know last year we had music. Was it last year?
Yeah, last year we had a quartet, brass quartet.
Some
It got awfully warm. It was.
I had to move into the shade.
It was a little lengthy. So, but have you been? There's a couple of them, Jim, that we've done.
I know that fountain area is so beautiful now, and it's just a great,
cool.
bring our veterans that way with that park. It's so cool. And this year, the Quality of Life Corporation is going to try to build a float for the parade and see if we can get some of the veterans to ride the float. And we also want to try to list all the names of our veterans from the community on that float.
On a banner. That'd be awesome.
So it's going to be kind of cool to honor the veterans this year.
So get a hold of us at City Hall, and we'll add you to the list.
Yeah. We'll put you on there.
He's already on there.
My name's on this. You put your name on this. I did my wife's name on there too. What I was going to ask, what you're most looking forward to for Colstrip Days, but is it the veteran ceremony?
Saturday is the big day.
Oh, the park.
And that park, that's the most attended event of everything. And everything kind of centers around that. Of course, got other stuff going on that Quality of Life and Krista, they've all put together. Going to stretch it out. And, of course, they do the the automobile thing.
Car show?
That's always fun to go to.
And
there's some crazy cool cars around Colstrip.
See that stuff. Yeah. And, of course, the fireworks celebration. And the fireworks celebration will be as big as ever this year. That's put on by our auxiliary fire department.
Yeah.
So
they
always do a great job.
2021 was the big shebang, right? Because then they have 2 years worth of fireworks.
Well, we had 2 years of fireworks.
Yeah, we're going to blow these firemen.
We build it up every year. The city funds that.
Yeah.
Puts that all together, and our fire department puts it off. Yeah.
Bless those firemen. They do a great job.
Well, they go to take training, specialized training, because it's all automated.
Yep.
And they do a great job.
They go drive and get the fireworks, and they have special training, and we love the fireworks.
Yeah. When is the car show?
We moved it to Friday. It was Sunday. We moved it back to Friday night.
I like that. Yeah, 5 to 9 p.m.
It'll be good.
More of you can almost make it like a street dance vibe.
During the fireworks this year, we're going to have a wiffle ball. Is that what it was?
Yeah. Again, we're trying to get something for the kids, but Saturday night down on the South fields, the Little League fields, we're going to try to set up a wiffle ball game.
That'd be fun.
For the kids to come down and play baseball and watch the fireworks.
Who's putting that on?
CPRD.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's out on the Cherry Street.
Yeah.
Ball field,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
So that's a new one. That's cool.
So they're going to do it at night while the fireworks are going.
Well, I don't know if they'll do start at 8:30, 9 o'clock and play and then get done and then watch the fireworks.
Should be able to see the fireworks pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
You should be. Yeah.
I know like the prime viewing spots along the fence by Fort Union Inn and all that area.
That's where everybody when we were younger would go. And it was just a sea of...
I do that on purpose.
Do you remember?
The prime viewings, people sit in the grocery store parking lot.
Yeah.
And they'll watch it along the fence and then...
The big field by Taylor's. We used to park
Oh,
in
yeah.
that
Southeast Montana Development Company.
Yeah.
Right in front of the
Oh, I bet
little
that's great.
grassy
I know.
knoll.
I know where I'm going to be.
I never did it there, but yeah, I've been next to Taylor's a lot, and then on the one by the car wash.
Everybody
of
has
course.
their favorite spot.
The Baptist church usually has a bunch of cars parked in there.
Also, the only time you'll see traffic in Colstrip as well when it's all done.
Another traffic jam.
Traffic jams.
We don't have a traffic light. What are we going to do?
We have amazing police officers out
They
there.
stand
though.
there, out there.
In
Can't say I
5 minutes,
haven't.
everybody's home.
Right?
Yeah. Get them out of here quick. I love it. Favorite part about Colstrip Days?
Mine
Yeah.
is seeing everybody just having a good time, and then seeing people that I only get to see once a year, or every 10 years or 20 years, like I haven't seen for so long.
A little mini reunion every year.
Every year. Every
is.
year.
And every year is different. Somebody will come
yeah.
this year, and then the next year somebody will come back that you haven't seen.
Somebody's 25th
Yeah.
There's
every year.
Every time. That's the way it works.
I have friends that I had graduated with, and that was the only time I saw them, like Brenda Crone, and she used to come back every year, and that's when we would catch up, you know. But yeah, just seeing people from different classes. Of my brothers graduated from here, so I have
They're friends.
their friends, and you know,
So, like,
my mom worked at this school, so I hear, man, you look like your mom every year. I love that.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Right.
I love it. Bill, what's your?
Same thing. Just, people that come back,
Mhm.
get to visit with everybody. And I get to actually umpire the alumni baseball game.
Oh, yeah,
and
you do. That's
seeing
right.
all those guys come back and play baseball. And
That's really
Now
cool.
they have kids, and now
they bring their kids.
yeah.
So small town Rosebud. I see this Rangers alumni. What is that? What are the Rangers? Is this an
That
American
was
Legion
our American Legion team.
baseball team? Oh, go
Yeah,
ahead.
baseball team. And we actually had quite, back when we had the numbers, we had a pretty strong team.
Yeah.
And we played in the district with Glendive, Miles City, Billings. And a couple of times we went to state, and one state,
Oh,
I think
that's
it
really
was
cool.
87 or something back in there. And we actually had, the one year we had 5 kids from Forsyth, because Forsyth they had Babe Ruth, but they didn't
Yep.
have a Legion team.
Yeah,
What are they? What are
we
the
combined
age?
them.
What are the age
16, 17, 18.
for
16,
American Legion?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And we had a kid from Hysham, and we had kids from Forsyth come down and play.
Yeah,
So
that's fun.
it's always a fun one to see the guys come back. And
I've never been over there for it because I was never involved. But is it heavily attended? Is that something that's it's usually just the guys, or there's
no,
a big
no,
group?
No.
it gets a big
Yeah.
crowd.
Families.
It does.
Really? I might have to just come watch. How do they divide the teams up? How do they?
They actually stay in contact with each other, and they divide it before they get here.
Talk
They have a
smack the whole
gold,
time.
yeah.
Oh,
They have a
absolutely.
gold team and a black
Absolutely.
team, and they come in their jerseys and they play. I mean, they're not fooling around.
These are good
The pitchers are
ball
still
players.
pitching, and Dwight Gennari, who was our first, American Legion coach here, he coached for 10, 12 years. I got to coach with him for 2 years. Just an amazing coach, an amazing guy, and those kids love him. But he comes back. He was like 63, 64. He's still on the mound throwing
Throw in. Yeah.
pitches, and
my God.
the rest of the guys are out there playing. I mean, they play hard.
Are
play
they
to
playing
win.
up at the
At the
Stillwater Fields?
Stillwater, yeah. And it's 6:00. We moved it to Saturday. It was on Sunday, but we play it on Saturday at 6. And there's usually 40, 50 people up there
There's
yelling and cheering. And
That sounds fun.
they're
So
super
good.
competitive now. Still they're like
Good for them. What was the last year we had a Legion team here? Anybody remember?
I remember going with my brother Mike when he played Legion, and we'd have to drive to Forsyth
well,
for practice.
I was going to say my son played Legion, and that was in 2014.
Okay.
That had to be close to the ends, 10, 12 years ago.
So we
And
saw
we just-
some.
The numbers kept dropping. We had a Babe Ruth team after that for a while, and then we didn't have enough numbers, so we lost that too. But baseball was big here.
I know it was very big in Forsyth when I was a kid. I didn't play, but cousins did, and it was all the way up through Babe Ruth, and I thought it was cool. But I never really got into baseball. I was a basketball player, but I can imagine here we had Colstrip was huge. I mean, I was a C school kid. Like Forsyth town, they were a B school. Colstrip,
Well, they were A.
we
Yeah,
were
I know.
A, yeah.
And
We were A for quite a while until let's see. Kayla graduated in
I was gonna say I don't know if it was even
2009.
1,000.
I think 2005 is when they
Yeah.
went to B.
So we didn't see Colstrip in events, sports. It was, music festivals and things like, because some of it was hosted here. We came to Frank Bratton for academic Olympics and things like that. Sometimes it'd be in Miles City, sometimes it'd be in Colstrip, but CHS was huge. I mean, that's a monster building. You go to Rosebud, and everything is like kindergarten through 12th. We're in the same building. It was maybe just a touch bigger than this building. You go, that's just the high school? It's huge.
I just saw there was a question about when the high school opened. And it was
84.
1984.
Yeah, my
right?
brother was the second, and one of my brothers was the second class to graduate in 85.
Huge building. Physically, I think it's larger than Custer County's district high school, and I always thought that was just a big building. We had our district tournament was there for 4C, and you come out to Colstrip. You guys are on a whole different planet out here.
I was talking about the annex that was built onto Frank Bratton too that we had. I was like, no, it was bigger. We were lucky growing up. Absolutely.
It's always been everything's been well supported here. I love it. What are some people and some organizations you want to give a shout out to? I mean, there's a huge list, right?
I was going to say, I don't even know where to start.
You don't want to leave anybody out either, right?
No.
I heard you guys on that podcast, and you thank them, and you forgot about me.
Yeah.
There would be so many. I don't think we could even do that. Just for the people that have the activities at Colstrip Days, whether they're a vendor or actually like the car show,
organizers,
the cornhole tournament, everything like that. But also we get a lot of donations from companies that help us put this on. I wouldn't even know where to start.
Right.
Well,
thank you to everybody.
You always leave somebody out.
and that's one point, that there's people out there that run Colstrip Days events that we don't sponsor.
Yeah.
Like the arm wrestling.
Yeah, we don't have anything.
Yeah, they run that all by themselves. We put it on our event sheet, but they run it, themselves.
All independently. And
the trap club, the trap shoot, Sunday morning. There's events like that they just continue to run.
We're kind of like, when you want it.
Yeah. Put it on your calendar.
We can make that happen.
So yeah, with companies though, they've just been so wonderful to help sponsor Colstrip Days. There's a lot of them, and there's from out of town
companies that just have
contractors that come in and work in Colstrip.
They have people working here and absolutely will help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of Rosebud County, it's probably the second biggest event of the year after the fair. I mean, I imagine just as number of people and things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
After the fair, it was
saying something. We have Duck Days in Forsyth. That's if you can beat Duck. I'm not talking smack about Duck Days, but if you can beat Duck Days, I think you're doing great. I think Colstrip Days is awesome. I didn't know it was a thing growing up. Not gonna lie, because we just didn't come down here.
Right.
You're just like 40 miles, 30 miles off the interstate, and that's 40 miles from where I grew up. I moved to Colstrip 8 years ago, and we have Colstrip Days. What is this? That was so I'm like, I'm a neophyte Colstrip Days attendee here. I've worked Colstrip Days.
Yeah, you work it, so you have a whole different view too on it.
I'm going to talk about that. But as far as the parade goes, I didn't know these were things until
Fireworks.
I moved here. Yeah, the fireworks show was amazing.
Amazing.
And last year I wasn't working, so I was able to just kind of
right
see
on.
some of these
Around,
things, and I helped with the play and helped her run that, and I was like, it's a big deal, having everyone coming back and just the continued support and have it growing, because this is an era of people being in their phones and their computers, and to just go outside and do something is a big deal, and you're gonna lose interest in those things, but it doesn't seem to be happening.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, like the band in the park. Or the music in the park.
Oh, the music in the park has been wonderful.
Right. People seem to really like it. We
they
got a dance floor.
They pull up their chair and they watch and they dance. We've had some great bands. I actually wrote them down. But Cruisin' has been here 3 years, and that's the guys out of Sheridan. They've come up 3 years for us, and Exit 54.
53. Is it 54 or 53? I think it's Exit 53.
I think they're out of Hardin.
Yes, they are.
The Muncher, Trish, Munzik. He did it last year.
I was going to say he
did it
last year.
So we've always had good music.
Who are we having this year?
A Dakota Country Band.
They're from Minnesota, obviously.
No.
Dakota Country.
Yeah. But yeah, the music is going to be good this year.
It's always fun.
Yeah.
You know,
Music in the park.
I know some people had mentioned it was like street dance kind of stuff. Is anything like that going on this year? Or is all going to be just?
We don't normally organize that
That's
part
kind
of
of
it.
the bars.
That's the bar thing.
Yeah.
But the street dance has always been a part of Colstrip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We used to actually sit by the fountain when we were younger with our families and then
Listen to the music.
listen to the music and stuff when I was little.
Yeah,
When it
'cause
was a fountain.
The Minor House has a barbecue and the Moose has
Yeah.
music. Oh, yeah. You just got to, when we put out the list, you know, there's a list that comes out. We finalize it and then it comes out. And then you got to start planning where you're going to go.
All right, here we go, guys.
Everyone else it's a snowball that you can't stop. You know,
Yeah.
It's like, all right, well,
And-
if I interject now, I'm in the way.
Whether you're taking pictures of everything or Saturday's still really busy for me, like with the parade and then taking care of the seniors and the prizes and stuff like that. Just checking on things for all of us. We all do that, not just myself. I'm just speaking for me. We're still really busy. So I don't know if we've ever like just chilled out on Saturday and kind of cruised around.
Not till Sunday night.
Yeah.
You know,
But I mean, you know, everyone.
But it feels good
I was
because
gonna
you
say,
see
it's
all
not-
these people
yeah.
having fun and smiling, laughing, with just families and friends. And yeah, it's actually a really good feeling.
gotta be
But
some-
we're all
some-
pretty tired
A little
after.
bit of pride in that. Like I made that happen for them. You know,
Yeah.
you get your joy out of watching people enjoy the things that you worked for. Not to say you're the only ones that worked for it, obviously, but there's a lot of infrastructure, you know,
Yeah.
that it all sits upon that
yeah,
comes
and
from.
there's a lot of positive comments that come out that we really enjoy.
We'd ignore
Colstrip
the
Days.
negative ones.
That's what you do. And then exactly 1 month after we get done with Colstrip Days, we start planning for next.
for next year.
To get a whole month off.
Yeah.
It used to be longer, but it's just grown so much now that we want to put that time in. We want to make it better each year. Every year we want something bigger, something better.
And it takes effort.
Yeah.
Nothing's without the effort.
And like he was talking about the committee, and I don't know how we've lived without them, honestly.
It was hard. It was really hard, and it was starting to get stressful. So
It
talk
was.
about the 1 year with Centennial. You know, we had Kayla from Shack. You know, we did a lot of Colstrip history stuff with Shack during the Centennial, and the school, you know, with Leslie Hall. And doing stuff with the school and Shack. And so, yeah, it's just the people that are willing to help.
Do you get a lot of people that come up and say, I have an idea?
Absolutely.
You can't take all of them.
Absolutely.
But everyone's got an idea, right? I mean,
Well, we just added one last year. It was remember the preschool drag races?
Yeah, the drag races.
the Power Wheel.
Yeah, the little.
And there's a dog. Isn't there a pet parade too?
Well,
that died?
that actually was one of my favorite events. Was the pet parade, and
Yeah.
the church put it on. You know, Saturday morning, and I'd go over and take pictures. And you should have seen some of the
I bet it was
costumes.
awesome, yeah.
They had, but we couldn't get somebody to run it this year, so we're in a little bit of a hiatus. We'll wait till somebody.
That's actually one of my memories as a kid. I dressed up my poodle in my raggedy.
Did you?
For the Colstrip Days parade?
So
Or is it just a random memory?
No, it had to, I don't even remember what it was for, but that's like one of my favorite things. And it competed, so I think it was actually during Colstrip Days. Let's see if I can find some pictures on it.
Yeah.
But
And then we had the dancers, the dance team, come and perform. They're going to perform this year. Did they do it last year?
Small steps.
Small steps, dance team.
Dance team.
That's
So
really cool.
That's always fun.
Yeah.
And a couple of years ago, we had the bagpipers out of Billings. That was fun.
That's fun, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's always, you know, fun to get, you know, new groups to
Mhm.
come, you know, be part of the parade or part of the Saturday.
It gets them to get
So-
their thing out there for people to see and do.
As
John,
long as we
I-
can keep everybody interested.
Yeah.
You know, as long as they're liking what we're doing, I
Mhm.
guess. And
Um,
yeah.
John's always talking to different people from around the state. Do you do the plug for Colstrip Days?
Well,
Do you-
we do, but typically the people that are involved or that come here
Mhm.
have been here, grow up here, have families here. It's really mostly family, past, and you know, I don't think we have anybody that comes from out of here to Colstrip Days that's never been here before.
just to see it.
It's just
Kinda built into their
it's
lives,
just
right?
like a big family reunion. It's really
It
what
is,
comes down to.
absolutely.
You have your kids, your student reunion, those types of things, and then you have family reunions.
Mm-hmm.
And they do it all around Colstrip Days. So we don't get a lot of outside people that have never been here before.
Just to
It's just the way it
accidentally
is.
show up.
Well, we don't have the big city drawings like Billings
Oh,
and
yeah.
those types of things.
Yep.
So it's pretty much family.
Make it it's a good point. It's not a family reunion. It's not a school reunion. But is it both of those
And
things?
It's a little bit out of the way
Yeah.
too from
Oh,
the
it's absolutely.
from the interstate. If we were
Absolutely,
next to
yeah.
the
You know,
interstate, they
just
might
like
stop
yourself,
and-
you never came. I mean, you lived you grew up 35 miles from here,
Didn't know it was-
40 miles from
Yeah,
here,
didn't know it was a thing.
and you never, so
Now, I mean, if I
Yeah.
don't think I'll ever leave, but if
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to tell my kid to come back. Hey, man,
but it's really Colstrip. It's
Yes.
really a Colstrip event,
yeah,
Yeah.
citywide reunion.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's cool.
Here's a question for John. Do you remember, where I live, there used to be a rodeo arena up there, where they had the horse corrals?
Yeah.
Did they ever have a rodeo during Colstrip Days? Do you remember?
I don't ever recall a rodeo. They had it up there in that area, but even before that, they had it over on the other side of town.
Right. I
Where
remember.
that's
where the
I remember
rodeo- I
seeing
live across
pictures of
from
that.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've never had, never
the
had
coal
anything
belt is.
connected to rodeo on Colstrip Days.
Okay. But I do remember them having rodeo events up there at the.
Yeah.
Yep.
At the horse
I
corral.
remember
Right.
that too.
Yeah. They just had it out up there for a couple of years, so I think. Yeah.
They had a little arena.
But before that, they had the arena, and that was a yearly event.
Where was
The
that?
Colstrip Rodeo was a yearly event down at the arena, but that's gone.
Oh, yeah.
That was down by 1 and 2, wasn't it?
Cottonwood.
Well, no, it was
On the other side of Cottonwood, on the
other side of Cottonwood,
where the
right
coal
in
belt is.
Oh, yeah.
The what?
So you know that.
right where the
conveyor-
drag-
the conveyor belt.
goes
Yeah,
across.
that's right.
Okay.
There
That's
was a
where it was.
picture, right? That it was posted on the Colstrip community Facebook page not that long ago, within the last year.
Of the horse corral.
The stockyards. The stockyards was down there. That's where they did all the loading for the cattle and that type of thing. And that's where the rodeo.
If you go down Cottonwood, like from Cherry and Cottonwood, if you go to the end before you kind of turn in, I think it's Current, right?
Yeah, it's Current Moss right there.
You'll see a dirt road where the guard is. That used to be a road out to the corrals.
Oh, okay.
That's really cool. I like it. We've had so much fun over
Yeah.
the years. It's like, man, we did this thing. So look into the future. I mean, somebody's got a wish list. So you've had all these people bring new ideas. I mean, have you thought about things that you would like to see
We do that every year, Jim.
all year? Well, I mean, you facilitate
We've
the
one
things.
month-
Facilitate the things that hey, Gene, are we still doing a car show? Hey, are we still doing a melodrama? I mean,
And
what's your vision?
I think we try to do a new one every year, really. We just want to keep it alive. We want to keep it interesting. We want to keep families keep coming back for it. And I mean, because if it goes downhill, then people aren't going to come back for it. And do you remember when Colstrip Days was so cool? We don't want that.
It's gotten lame. We don't want to be there. Yeah.
That's our goal, is
Yeah.
we don't want it to get lame, so people stop coming. We want it always to be our celebration.
Yeah.
This is our celebration of our town, no matter what is going on. This is something that we all get together to do, and there is literally nothing but love during Colstrip Days,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I think that is our goal for me, I think.
Yeah, I
But
don't-
then
I don't
we're
know if
always
there's-
trying to come up with different, like,
Yeah.
oh, you know
New
what
events.
this town does, or you know what this town does, or I saw this online or whatever. We're like, but I think our big goal is to keep it
Keep it.
Keep it
keep
up.
it going
Keep it
and
going.
keep it.
It's tremendous quality right now.
Yeah.
And, where you can do a little bit here, a little bit there, whatever. But if you maintain what you have going, it's really good what you have.
Yeah.
And we do get feedback, we just started the fishing day, the city.
Oh, that's
It's been an awesome
that's a-
event. Yeah.
And
that's a big
seems-
deal.
that
on the fishing
seems
day.
so
that,
many
that was an
kids.
add-on, and
Then there's
That's
so many people
really
that are like, we
popular.
love that so much. So
How many
we wanna-
kids? 103?
110 kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thereabouts last year. So that
Yeah.
was last year was like the second year.
Second.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's
So we do keep
That was-
coming up with
yeah.
cool
Oh, yeah.
ideas.
and that's special.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
really special for the kids.
And we've had, outside help, Pike Masters and Walleyes Unlimited out of Mill City that
It's
step
just
up,
a
Rosewood
fun
County
event.
Sheriff's
Those-
Department,
yeah.
that we can't even begin to think.
In my experience with those kind of organizations,
If we ever had for a theme, we could incorporate it into the the Colstrip Days theme. Bed races.
That would be
Yeah.
fun.
Actually, I had an idea for this year was going to be something about wheels. You know, if the theme was wheels, then you could get all the kids to come out with their bikes, wagons, and everything.
Oh,
There's
right
something
on.
that-
Everything that had
something
anything that had a
with
wheel.
wheel. We'll save the bed races for
Ooh.
wheels, okay?
For our wheels. Do you guys have like a little backup list of themes that you think of? Just like wake up in the middle of the night. I just came up with a Colstrip Days theme. Write it down, and then throw it to the committee later, and just keep like a list.
We actually
you
used
can
to
pull
put it
from?
out to the community.
And that way we
it
get lots of ideas.
Then we got lots of ideas.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. We've only picked a couple. Really, we usually put it out to the community.
And let them.
Yeah. And
Yeah, and they come
yeah.
up with ideas that
and they come up with some amazing ideas.
Oh, I can imagine.
off the wall.
I,
No, we
sometimes
can't do that one.
I think that I'm fairly creative, and then I'll hear someone else's idea about something. And I'm like, like my mind's blown. Like, how are you
80s
so
people.
smart? Yeah, they
Yeah.
they have different brains. You know,
Yeah.
I love it. So this year it's 250th anniversary. The nation.
Happy birthday, America! 50th birthday.
I love it.
Starting to get young.
I don't want to say how did we come up with that theme because it's kind of obvious, right? I mean, like, was there any other choice?
Well, our theme is actually Stars, Stripes, and Coal Power.
Sure.
But we're celebrating the
Celebrating.
250th.
Say it again.
Yeah.
Stars, stripes, and coal power. Who came up with that?
That was we had
We had a
three of 'em.
submittal, but
Yeah.
we had to adjust a little bit. And
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a group idea.
Cool. From the
And
committee.
we actually put it out to vote. Yeah. And then we adjusted it a little bit.
That's cool.
Yeah,
So
it was a good theme.
like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna have some colorful floats.
I
think
can't
so.
wait.
Yeah,
I think this year, like, the country's going to run out of red, white, and blue paint and banners and
yeah.
construction
Streamers.
paper. Yeah.
Stri-
We have this nationwide shortage. Anything red, white, and blue, it's gone. Forget it.
Napkins.
Next year. I love it. We have a new sponsor this year.
Well, yeah, there was it's called the Montana 250 Commission, and they put out to all the cities and organizations that there was grants out there available for towns that were celebrating, that would like to celebrate. And so what we did is put our grant application in and told them about Colstrip Days and what we would spend the money for. And we got a $2,000 grant from, and this commission is part of the Montana Historical Society.
Oh, wow.
So that was kind of a cool sponsor for this year's.
Does it go to the Colstrip Days budget, or is it
Yeah.
for?
Yeah.
So
We told them what we kind of wanted to use it. There was some guidelines. It actually came from an email that John shares with us with the the cities and towns. And Wendy Acton, actually, that I work with, she kind of was like, "Hey, you should look into this one." And I
Yeah, it
was
was
like,
almost
"Oh
a-
my gosh, that would be
It
perfect."
was a perfect fit.
It was
so-
a perfect
Yeah.
fit. And so I got with Bill and Liz and the committee, and we kind of worked on an application and tweaked it a little bit. There was guidelines, so we had to tell them what we kind of wanted to use this money for. And yeah,
Yeah, and some of the money's going to go to build the float for the veterans, to
veterans.
Oh, that's
recognize
really
the
cool.
veterans.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool.
I love it.
Yeah.
And this year, you're not going to be looking for flag bearers for the
No, for color
So
guard.
fun.
color guard.
Thank you again, Jim and his brother for bailing us out last year. Yeah,
Way to
no.
go.
You made me so happy.
She said-
I couldn't even play in the last game of the softball tournament. I was freaking out. And you saved us during fishing day, and you made your brother do it, and I was so thankful.
totally-
And we still had Dave Massey, which I was so thankful. He's been
That dude's
one of
so
the color.
awesome.
He's been one of our color gods forever, and I love it. But yeah, the Northern Cheyenne Morning Star chapter is actually gonna be here. A couple of them anyway, and then along with Dave. I think since I've been here, I think Dave's only missed it 1 year. And I asked him if he wanted me to put his shoes on one of the floats so that, because he won't ride. He actually wants to walk, and he wears the same shoes, and that's what they're for. And I thought that was so cute. And I was like, do you want me to put it on one of the floats or something, or so that it's still making the trip? And, but yeah, so thankful for these people.
I just was looking through here. Is the pickleball tournament new this year?
Well, since we got the courts.
Yeah,
Okay.
2 years.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, we had it in the gym.
Oh, you guys had it in the gym.
Yeah,
That's right.
For 2
That
years.
is
So
right.
it might be 4 years old this year.
yeah.
New-ish.
We did two years
'Cause
in the gym.
I
And
forgot
then
it was in the
last
gym
year they
first,
did it
yeah.
outside.
So now it's going to be on the new court.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
I love that.
I do remember. Sorry. New-ish.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't in the gym.
So Stars, Stripes, and Coal Power,
Yes.
the biggest fireworks show in southeastern Montana.
Southeast Montana.
Has to be. I've been to a lot. I was a bit of a fireworks connoisseur. I was an artillery guy in the Army.
Oh, right on.
And then when growing up in Forsyth, we sold fireworks next to the Roxy Theater.
Oh, really?
Yep, for a few years there. So I like fireworks. So our fireworks here it's up there.
Good stuff.
It really is up there. It's really good. So shout out to our fire department because those guys are awesome. We're gonna get patriotic, right?
Yes, sir.
Everybody
Absolutely.
get patriotic.
Yes, sir.
Do we have any shirts or anything like that, or is it just bring your own patriotic? I know we had these things made at least at one point.
Or the Centennial shirts.
Yeah.
That's the only time we've really, well, I guess we did for another anniversary because I have one. It's red with the fireworks.
Yeah, everybody's
I wanna
going
say
to
it was
have
like
to just wear their
40th.
stars and stripes shirts.
We've got it's
Yeah.
there. Amazon. I mean,
Maybe one of the vendors.
yeah.
That would be
Yeah,
a good
that
idea.
would be all right
They do it.
with
I mean,
us.
they'd be wise
Yeah.
to bring patriotic stuff.
Absolutely.
Love it because then
There's always some patriotic stuff during Colstrip Days. You
The
know,
Americana.
either people passing out flags or whatever during the parade, but we're going to go full bore this year.
love it. So as I was thinking about I have to come up with a tagline for our show for this episode, right? It's going to be the thing that I say at the beginning of the episode. It'll be based on what we've talked about in the show, the stuff that's already happened. So it's kind of one of those things that you look at, you record it last, but you say it first. And so we're talking about it's a city reunion. It's not a family reunion. It's not a school reunion.
Kind of is.
But it's both.
It is actually all those.
I think
Yeah,
it's both.
family.
And it's a city reunion.
I like the word city reunion.
I do
Yeah.
Kind
too.
of cool.
The city's family reunion.
It's because it's more than just the city, though.
Well,
Yeah.
it's special. It's
is.
Colstrip Days.
It is Colstrip
It's
Days. It's our days for Colstrip
Days.
Days.
And everybody that's been or connected with Colstrip, living here or having family here,
Yep.
this is
So
their
I
time
think-
of
And
celebration.
I think the people in Colstrip actually have a unique connection. I've always said that. Like it didn't matter how old we were. There were only so many kids here at one point. You know what I mean? So we all hung out and we're family.
Yeah.
We have I think we have a very unique connection
I've
to each other.
I've lived here 8 years, and I feel like I'm a part of it.
Absolutely.
I've
Well,
never-
that's one of the things that we have here in common. Started here from somewhere else.
yeah. Unless you're Krista Hazel,
But her folks,
they came from
here.
someone else.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They have a background.
Everybody
from
came
someplace
for a
else.
reason.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everybody came from and it's
Yeah.
all came to Colstrip to be in Colstrip.
And
be here.
everybody worked so hard, through John's stories, that we all just learned a lot.
So, very
is that
unique.
everybody's goal was to make this place better.
Very unique
And,
community.
and for me, this ties into, the theme of my podcast so well that I was gone for a long time. I spent 20 years off in the world. And I came back here and realized that, man, there's like so much more to this county than I ever knew growing up. I said, I didn't know Colstrip Days was even a thing. I grew up 40 miles from here. We go to the Rosebud County Fair every year. You don't know about it until you're here.
Yeah.
Whether
A
it's
part of it.
Yeah. You're like, this is a thing.
And once you're a part of it, that's what you are.
You're going to want to come back and you're going to bring your family back. And if you're here, you're going to want your family who's left to come back and visit you and maybe come see Colstrip Days. So I think for me, it's going to be Colstrip Days is the event that you don't know about. And you're
I
going
like
to
that.
want, you're going to want to come see. So if you're not from here, come check it out. 'Cause You didn't even know it happened. And it happens every year. We have thousands of people, the best fireworks in the state, and we love it. So I think just, that's where I'm going to go with the beginning of the show. This is the thing you didn't even know happens.
Yeah.
Check it out. It's huge.
And I think since 1970, whatever, the feeling's been the same during Colstrip Days.
Let's celebrate.
The atmosphere, the feeling of community, family, whatnot, that has never changed.
It's always
Our
getting back
activities may
together.
have changed, some still, the same in certain aspects, but the feeling that you get from Colstrip Days and
The spirit of it.
the spirit, exactly. Thank you. The spirit of it has never changed since day one. And you don't get that a lot of places in the world, especially now.
No.
That could be your tagline, Spirit of Colstrip.
Spirit of Colstrip.
Oh, good
Ooh,
one.
I like
Look at
that
these
one.
guys over here brainstorming. Spirit of Colstrip.
Next year.
We're used to that.
2027. Write it down. You can credit Jim.
Right?
So before we end, because there's something we haven't talked about, is why was it so difficult for you to convince John Williams to be the Grand Marshal of the parade this year or ever?
To me, I've known John literally my whole life, but he's definitely not one of those me kind of person. He is so much about this community, and everything that he does is for the greater good for the community. I mean, and he's very much not like.
Well, he's a very humble person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. He's
no one
so
is more
humble,
humble than
and
him.
that's just not his focus. He likes to see other people succeed, and he likes to let other people be the star and whatnot. And so I was so excited when I came to work, and because he had told us no again this year. I came to work, and there was a yellow piece of paper on my desk that said, "I would be honored, basically, to be the Grand Marshal if
Thank
it's
you for
still
doing it,
available."
John.
I
Yes,
was so
we appreciate
excited,
it.
just
Yeah.
because he's not about the attention.
Yeah.
He's not
Recognition,
about
yeah.
the
Being
recognition.
in the spotlight.
I mean, you just heard of how many millions of things has he been involved in Colstrip Days,
All
or
of
not
them.
Colstrip Days? Excuse me,
Colstrip,
Colstrip.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And
from the
it'll be an
beginning.
emotional time for me.
Yeah.
Colstrip has been a blessing to me. I don't feel that I've been a blessing to Colstrip.
There's so many people that would disagree with that.
Absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah. I think,
When I say me and my family,
of course, I've seen pictures that, the old, I think there was the swimming hole. There's a picture of maybe is it Shaq, or it was shared on the thing. It was like, oh, here's John Williams and one of his boys out there fishing. Like,
Yeah.
John, you're a black and white picture in a history book.
Right.
I mean, that's saying something. I talk about how young this city is, but it's still not an unsubstantial amount of time. I'm still not saying you're old. I promise.
I love
It's-
hearing
it's
his
something.
stories.
Yeah.
I thought I knew. I know a lot about Colstrip, but hearing
there's
it, I was
still
like, wow. And that I am very lucky to work with him, because I get
John's-
to hear that, or I'll say like, do you remember this? And he will tell me all about it. And I mean, I know he's always been involved in many
Yeah.
things.
He's forgotten more about Colstrip than most of us will ever know. Right?
Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
this year fits. John's an Army veteran.
Absolutely.
The 250th. We're
Yeah.
trying to get patriotic with it. Thanks for doing that, though, John.
thank you.
And that was it was perfect what you said. Colstrip's been a blessing to me also. I mean, I think everybody in Colstrip would say that.
My parents thought so
that
too, with
that-
all of us.
It
It's
has
such a
its-
quality of life here in Colstrip that Colstrip's been a blessing to
I
a
always
lot
kind
us.
of, I always get a little bit of a giggle if I read something on social media or a news thing, in the comments. And if it has anything to do with Colstrip, invariably there's some negative little.
Of course.
I'm like, you've never been to Colstrip.
Exactly.
I promise. Because if you have, you wouldn't be saying those things.
Yeah.
You don't know what it is until you're here. And people get here and they stay here.
I was just going to say that when I worked at the bank before the city, I would, help turnaround families, or just
buy a home.
yeah,
I'm gonna stay here.
all of a sudden we're coming back.
Yep.
We're moving here. We're staying, and I just like that. Or somebody that was just moving there is like, what brought you to Colstrip? I still ask that when people come into the city.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Because Colstrip's not on your way to anywhere.
Not to anything.
It's a specific destination.
Yep.
I mean, it's not on your way to anywhere. And so it's not, you can't happen upon us on accident. So what brought you here? It's family or a friend, or I came and visited a friend one time and I just fell in love. And I love hearing that.
that
I
cool?
absolutely love hearing that. Because I'm in love with it too. That's
Yeah.
why I didn't leave.
One of those things that, if you have something special, you take care of it. Yeah, you want to promote it. You want to get other people interested in it. That's one of those things that we have. We're not a stop on the interstate. We're not billboards. We're not,
And we take care of each other. We're there for each other. We make it happen.
we do
From
we make
day
it happen.
one.
It's a good community.
Make things
Community.
happen.
Make things happen.
Love it. All right. Anything else we want to
Thank you.
talk. No, thank you guys.
Thank you for having us.
This
We've
is gonna
had
be
fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm excited. You know, we could have all sat around here staring at each other like,
Yeah.
say something, Jim. Make something happen.
Yeah.
I kept
Dance
telling
for
you, I'm
me.
like, I'm more of behind the scenes. And when you and Jeremiah asked me to be a part of this, I was like,
Do I wanna?
yep, it's time to step out of my comfort
We're gonna
zone.
make you talk, and we're gonna put videos on the internet.
I'm excited. I'm very excited.
Well, thank you guys all so much. Colstrip Days is gonna be huge this year. It's only gonna get better. I think we got 3 of the people that make it happen right here. So excited about it. Maybe you want other people to be excited about it too. So thanks a lot. Thanks to Chris back there.
Way to go,
Thank you.
Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Making us all look good and sound good. All right. Thank y'all.
All right.
Thanks, Jim.